Welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. The purpose of this screencast is to tell you a little bit about the course and review the expectations outlined in the syllabus. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jennifer Doctor, and I'm an Associate Professor in the Physics Department, but I also work closely with the School of Education to prepare future educators in science. I'm originally from a small town in North Dakota called Jamestown, but I've also lived in Minnesota and Illinois before I came here to Wisconsin about 6 years ago. My husband is Dr. Ben Anderson, who teaches in the math department, so maybe you've seen him around campus too. We'll also have a teaching assistant and a laboratory coordinator who will help out with the class, and I'll introduce them during the first week. So that's a little bit about me. During the first week of class, you'll also complete a survey, so you can tell us a little bit more about you and what you are hoping to get out of this class. So here's some information about the class. Physics 106 is an introductory physics class, so the main objective of the class is for you to learn physical science content and how to engage in scientific practices such as planning and carrying out investigations. What makes this class pretty different from other science classes is that it's been especially designed for future teachers of elementary and middle school. So many of the activities and demonstrations we'll do can be adapted to use with younger children. And many of the curriculum, like the electricity curriculum, is the same as what they do in 4th grade over at Emerson Elementary School. If you take a look at the syllabus, the top part will include my contact information. I'll be announcing my office hours during the first week of class, and with additional office hours prior to quizzes and exams. Those will take place in my office, which is room 2030 of Cowley Hall. I also do office hours by appointment, so if those times don't work with your schedule, you can send me an email or an Outlook calendar invitation. We'll find another time to meet. So if you're new to UWL or fairly new, the university uses a course management system called Desire to Learn, or D2L. So most of the course materials, including the PowerPoint slides and handouts, will be posted in a section there called Content. The way that you access D2L, one way is from the main UWL website on the Quick Links menu shown here. So if you click on that Quick Links menu, you'll see something for D2L. Then you'll log in with your NetID and password, and then you will select the PHY106 Physical Science for Educators course. So there will be a newsfeed where I will post announcements and relevant information about the class. In the Content tab, that's where you'll see a lot of the information. In the folder for course information will be a copy of the syllabus and also a link to my calendar. PowerPoint slides will be posted in a folder. It'll be organized by each unit that we're covering. There will be weekly journals that you'll have to submit, and those are using a OneDrive form, so the links to those forms will be posted in that folder. There's also information about the homework and projects and some quizzes and exams, like the answer keys to the practice quizzes from your workbook. In the Quizzes tab in D2L, that's where you'll be completing the homework as an online quiz, and also submitting other parts of the course assignments, like an essay about your experience at the Children's Museum. There's also a place where you'll be able to view your grades, and we'll probably have a few reports submitted in the Dropbox. So on the first day of class, when you get there, you'll receive this spiral-bound workbook. And so that's going to be where you record all of your notes about the class activities that we do. I won't collect this at all, but this will be a place for you to record all of the notes and stuff that you take during the class. There are a couple of supplementary textbooks available to rent in the bookstore. I will not be giving you any assignments out of those, but you can use those as an additional resource if you want to. You will also need to have a simple calculator, which can do basic arithmetic, also exponents. Cell phone calculators are okay when we're doing class activities, but will not be permitted during quizzes and exams. The format of this class is something called an integrated lab lecture. So we'll be combining hands-on activities with some direct instruction sprinkled in as needed. The main topics that we do in this class are matter, motion, electricity, magnetism, waves and sound, and light. But in addition to learning about these science topics, we'll also be thinking about common difficulties that young children have when they're learning science, and also explore the new science standards, which just came out in 2013, called the Next Generation Science Standards. Here are a couple of pictures of some in-class projects we do. One of them is building roller coasters out of foam pipe insulation. Kind of see people getting a little bit creative. On page 2 of the syllabus, you'll see some specific learning objectives for the course and some expectations. So I do take attendance in this class because as future teachers, it's really important for you to illustrate the dispositions of the teaching profession, which includes valuing the learning experience. Not just that, but your group members are going to be relying on you to be at class. If you know you're going to have to miss a class, please send me an email in advance. I do allow you to use electronic devices during class activities, such as cell phones, laptops, or tablets, but I do ask you to be respectful. So if someone is talking, either me or one of your peers, please refrain from texting or using your phone. We usually take a 10-minute break about halfway through class, so you can also conduct your e-business at that time. Here's a little bit of information about the point distribution for the class. About half of your grade is going to be based on these 4 exams. And then about 19% will be based on the quizzes, and there's an individual portion and a group portion for that. The exams are 50 multiple choice questions, but the quizzes will be a combination of short answer and multiple choice. Practice quizzes and exams are provided in your workbook, so you can see that format. The weekly journals will be submitted online using links to a Microsoft OneDrive form, as I mentioned. And the homework that we do will be these online D2L quizzes. So the purpose of the journals is really to help you reflect on what you've learned that week, also to let me kind of know what things are still confusing, so we can address them in a future class period. The homework will send you to some websites to look at national standards and student misconceptions pertaining to the different units that we're studying in class. You can see I use a points grading scale, so the total number of points in the class is 800, and the grading scale is provided on the syllabus. I wanted to say just a little bit about some of the projects that we'll do. One of them is called a house wiring project. So in the electric circuits unit, you're going to do this project where you design and build a model house, which is wired by batteries, light bulbs, and motors. The project includes not just designing and building the house, but also giving a PowerPoint presentation to the class and writing a group report. We're scheduled to have a little bit of in-class work time and do the presentations in mid-April. So here are some photos. You can kind of see some of the themes that people have chosen in past years or past semesters. We tend to have a lot of movie themes or television show themes. Here's a few more. These are from last semester. I guess you can't really read this one, but it's some different biomes. We also have a really great partnership with the Children's Museum of La Crosse for a service learning project during their STEM Saturdays events. So you and a partner will select a demonstration or activity from class and display it for children at the museum. A sign-up sheet will be posted in probably the second or third week of the semester. This semester we have 3 dates, April 1st and 8th. We'll have multiple show times, 10 to 11 or 12:30 to 1:30, and on April 29th we'll just have a morning show time. So kind of start planning your work schedule accordingly, so at least one of those days and times will work in your schedule. So here are some popular choices of what people have demonstrated at the museum. Got the hovercraft. There's an air bazooka gun that shoots a ping pong ball through some empty soda cans. In the matter unit, we do a lot with floating and sinking, and we also build boats out of aluminum foil to see which ones will hold the most pennies. So those are some popular things at the museum. In electricity, we have a couple of different demonstrations. We have the Van de Graaff generator, which when you touch it, it makes your hair stand up from electric charge. We also have this thing that's just called the Fun Fly Stick. It produces a little bit of static electricity at the end, and you can make a piece of tinfoil hover above it. We also do a little bit with what materials conduct electricity and building simple electric circuits, and so you can see that it's a little bit more appropriate for a little bit older kids. In the magnets unit, we have a lot of different little toys and hands-on activities so that kids can kind of visualize what's going on when magnets interact with other materials. And in waves and sound and music, you can see people have different ways to produce sound, also looking at the slinky to produce different waves, or even building string telephones. Alright, so the last part of the syllabus includes a whole list of UWL policies and resources. So just remember to abide by the rules for academic conduct that are set by the university. In addition, please let me know if you have any allergies or special needs. So all of the units are laid out on the calendar along with homework, quiz, and exam dates, and so I'll use some of these labels when I post PowerPoint slides to D2L. So for example, the first day will be called Matter Day 1. You'll kind of see this is January and February combined. As we get into March, we've also got spring break, start looking at electricity and magnetism. And April is where things get a little bit busy because we also have that house wiring project. We have some children's museum dates in there, and we'll also be, having an exam on electricity and magnetism. And after that, there's not a whole lot of time left before the final exam, which it's not going to be cumulative. It's just going to be on waves and sound and light. This semester, our final exam time falls on the last day, so we'll see if we can come up with some second kind of alternative day and time, so you'll have a little bit more flexibility on when you can take that. So again, welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. I'm excited to meet you and get to know more about you. So check the D2L news section for additional announcements, and remember to respond to the introductory course survey. It's going to be due 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 24th. One of the items on the survey will ask you what questions you have about the syllabus or the course expectations, so we can clear those up right away. And please do notify me if you have any allergies, especially latex allergies, since sometimes we use balloons in this class. I look forward to seeing you soon.